right, well, good afternoon. This is Julia O'Brien with ACTE, and we're going to go ahead and get started. This conference call is recorded, so if anybody misses it or if you know of anyone who would like to listen to it later, it will be available online. So welcome. This is our last state leader call of the year. We're moving into Career Tech Vision and the holidays, and then we will start up again in the winter. So I'm going to dive right into the agenda. We have with us Jared Nagurka. He's with ACTE, the Public Policy Department, and he will be giving you a policy update. So Jared?
Thanks, Julia. So as Julia mentioned, my name is Jared Nagurka. I'm the Advocacy and Public Affairs Manager for ACTE, so I'm part of the Public Policy team. Just a couple things I wanted to talk about today. First being the Perkins Regional Workshops that are actually starting today in Atlanta, which is why Alicia, who I know normally gives these updates, is not able to do so. These are partnerships between Advanced CTE, the American Association of Community Colleges, the National Alliance for Partnerships in Equity, or NAEP, and ACTE. So the goal of these is really to help state leaders best leverage the newly reauthorized Perkins 5 to improve access and success of high-quality CTE programs and programs of study. So as I mentioned, today is the first day of the first one, so October 29th through 31st. There's one going on in Atlanta, November 5th through 7th in Phoenix and Scottsdale, Arizona, November 15th through 17th in Minneapolis and St. Paul, and December 5th through 7th in Baltimore. So there's more information on those on our blog and on our website, and I'm happy to give you more if you want to follow up with me after this call. Another Perkins-related item, Perkins 5, the official guide, which is our book that we have published and put together here at ACTE, is at the printer now. There are some being sent off to these regional workshops, and the rest will ship in the next few weeks. There's an option to order these on our website, on our Perkins implementation page. You can order them online. And this book includes background and an overview of the new law. It highlights changes that will have the greatest impact on programs. It includes a side-by-side showing key differences between Perkins 4 and 5. It includes a section-by-section summary and analysis of Perkins 5, in addition to some of the relevant sections of other federal legislation that were referenced within Perkins 5. And it also has the complete index of the new law and an index for easy reference. So that is available online for order, and it will ship out in the next few weeks. And the last Perkins 5 update I'll give is the State Plan Guide. There's a draft of that was released by the Department of Education last week. Basically, this is something that OCTAE, the Office of Career, Technical, and Adult Education, releases, and it was its first official guidance document related to Perkins 5 implementation that it put out. There's a link to it on our CTE Policy Watch blog. You can find it there. We're currently working with Advanced CTE on a joint response to it. Because this is a draft, their comments from the public are open and can be submitted up until December 24th. So we recommend that you take a look at that, and if you're interested, submit any comments. And again, you can go to our blog, which has a brief description of that, a link to the guide, and how to submit comments. Next up, on the federal funding front, I believe just a few days after the last state leaders call, the fiscal year 2019 spending bill for the Department of Education was officially passed and signed into law. This happened at the end of September, which is before fiscal year 2019 started, which was also the earliest time an education spending bill was passed in a number of years. So this is not something that we'll have to fight for the current year spending bill while we're still in it, as we've had to do in the last several years. We have those funds secured in advance. And these funds included a $70 million increase in the Perkins Basic State Grants. That brings the total to $1.263 billion, and it's also the second increase in as many years. Also included in that spending bill was an increase of $70 million to ESSA Title IV-A Student Support and Academic Enrichment Grants, an increase in the maximum Pell Grant award by $100, bringing the maximum up to $6,195, an additional $15 million for apprenticeship opportunities, and an additional $25 million in the state grant program for adult education. So this means that on our funding front, our advocacy now turns to fiscal year 2020. We'll continue to push for additional funding, of course. The only recent news on that is President Trump recently stated that he'll be seeking a 5% cut across most federal cabinet departments. in his fiscal year 2020 budget. That obviously includes the Department of Education, and so it's not necessarily given that if there were this cut to the Department of Education that this cut would also come out of Perkins, and it's also not a given that a president's budget is passed into law, and that was the case both in the Trump administration and the Obama administration and Bush before that and going back quite a while. But it is something to look out for. So that will come out early next year, so we'll be on the lookout for that as we turn to our fiscal year 2020 budget work. And then the last thing is the midterm election that is a week from tomorrow on November 6th. As a reminder, ACT is nonpartisan. We don't support or oppose any candidate for any office, but we do provide some coverage of elections and what those implications could mean on CTE in general. The first thing that's on the ballot in 7 states are the elections for the state superintendents. There are only 13 states that still elect their superintendents, but of those, Arizona, Georgia, Idaho, Oklahoma, South Carolina, California, and Wyoming are on the ballot this year, although Wyoming is uncontested. In many states, there's also significant ballot measures on the ballot. Many of these include funding for additional resources for secondary and post-secondary CTE programs, so things like approving those funding increases. And then also there are many governorships and state legislatures that are on the ballot. And I guess lastly, really the focus of the midterms, of course, are the federal elections. All U.S. House seats and a third of U.S. Senate seats are up for election. And the implications and results of these elections will obviously have a big impact on our work with CTE. On the one hand, if Democrats take one or both chambers, as some polls are predicting, then there could be a significant number of federal investigations that are started. This could really slow down the calendar moving forward, so it's something to look out for. But there's also a chance that there could be some bipartisan movement on priorities like infrastructure, where there's some bipartisan agreement that something should get done. Other things that we'll look out for in the new year, of course, possibility of some action on the Higher Education Act reauthorization, and again, funding, which is a process that we will go through every year. So that's the legislative update for this call. As always, stay tuned to our CTE Policy Watch blog that will post new and updated information on regularly, and feel free to check out our Perkins implementation page on our website. And as always, feel free to reach out to me or Alicia or Mitch or anybody else on the public policy team.
Right. Thank you so much, Jared, for that update. Always very informative, and we really appreciate your department's work on the Hill on behalf of CTE. Thank you. All right. I am going to give, sorry, I'm trying to get to my slide, and I went the wrong way. I'm going to give my update now, and it's really, as you know, Lauren is on maternity leave, so I'm giving a combination leadership update and communications update, and then I'm going to move right into CTE month. So all of our slides and this information will be together, and I apologize, it's pretty date heavy. This is the time of year for lots of different deadlines and dates to look forward to. So I'm going to be highlighting those. The first one I want to talk about is the important membership deadline to vote. So anyone who would like to vote in ACT Board of Director elections, which are coming up, they must be a member by October 30th. So please remember to remind your members of that as well. And then I wanted to say the state leadership breakfast, that's at Vision on Saturday, December 1st. The deadline to RSVP for that is November 1st. And 2 slides down, I do have the information on who to send that RSVP to if you don't have that. So please try to get that in. We really enjoy that morning breakfast and seeing all of you, and it's really a celebration of all the work happening in the state associations. The awards banquet registration deadline is November 15th. And we just really like to emphasize that because we're not able to sell tickets on site at Vision. So we have to really get our banquet numbers in pretty early. So please be sure to purchase your ticket by November 15th if you'd like to attend. We're really excited about all of our awards finalists, and we just think it's a great time to celebrate all of your peers and the CTE community. So we encourage you to attend. And then finally, the ACTE membership deadline to qualify for the Achieve 100 award, and that award is an opportunity for schools to have a 100% membership rate. So all of their CTE teachers must join to receive this award. And that deadline to be a member is December 30th, and the deadline for to apply for the actual award is January 15th. So then I just want to highlight these dates again for voting. We are also, we haven't done this in a while, we're going to be sending out a small direct mail postcard to all members in the middle of the month, just reminding everyone to vote. We're really trying to get the percentage of members who do vote up. So that's one way we're going to try to do it. And then, of course, we have the usual communications going out on that. So we're just really trying to encourage engagement across all the members to vote for their leaders. So again, you'll see more information on that. And voting opens at Vision on that Friday of Vision and then closes at the end of the month in December. And then I want to highlight some of the important sessions for all of you at Vision. The first one is the State Leadership Training Program, and I'll talk a little bit more about that in the next slide. That one is only $25, and it's a whole day of professional development specifically tailored for state leaders. So we encourage new state leaders, any leadership on your board who might be interested, who you think might benefit, to attend. And you just register for that session online through the Vision registration. So that's Wednesday, November 28th, 8 to 5. And then you've got the NEDA meeting, which is 3 to 5. And then again, the awards banquet. And then Thursday, you've got AOD. Friday, the state president's meeting. And then also the state CTE director, state ACTE executive directors meeting. We really encourage you to RSVP for that. And those RSVPs go to Jamie Alston. And the deadline to RSVP for that session is November 1st. And then here is Shelley's email address to RSVP for the State Association Leadership Breakfast on Saturday. And then this is just about the agenda for the State Leadership Training Program. We're really excited about this one. We feel like this is a little bit different from what we've offered in the past. The first part of that session will be a State Association Leadership 101 that'll be hosted by NEDA. So you'll really hear about best practices from other state association leaders, and we just think that'll be a really valuable way to spend that time in the morning. And then you'll have a social media session with Becca Cox. She's our membership and communications manager and very savvy when it comes to social media. So I'm very excited for you to hear from her directly about ways to engage your members and increase involvement by using social media, especially on Twitter and Facebook. And then you'll have a Perkins update from Alicia, which we all know how informative that will be. And then we've got a tax law session from our legal counsel in the afternoon, and we think this will also be some beneficial information for your association. So again, this event happens on the Wednesday, November 28th, 8 to 5, and it's only $25. And then I just wanted to highlight all of the resources around Perkins 5 implementation, since it is a hot topic right now. And I know Jared spoke quite well about that earlier. I just wanted to highlight some of the resources that are on this webpage. You've got information on purchasing the Perkins 5, the official guide, which is printing right now. Some have been delivered. Some will be delivered in the next week or two. So we will be shipping those pre-orders out shortly. We've got a one-page and full-page summaries about the new law. There's an FAQ section. There's a Perkins 5 funding distribution chart. There's also, I think many of you were probably on the Perkins 5 webinar that Alicia gave in August, but we do have that archived and available on that page. to listen to. It's very informative. And then PPD, the Public Policy Department, has set up a Twitter account and an email account specifically to address your Perkins 5 questions. And then on the other side, I've highlighted all the Perkins 5 related sessions taking place at Vision. The one on Wednesday is a workshop and is an additional cost. It goes a little more in depth, and it includes a copy of the official guide as well. And the other sessions are 1-hour sessions, more of an overview and more related to various issues. So I just wanted to have those all in one place for you. And then I just wanted to put a save the date for National Policy Seminar in 2019. Most of you know about this. It'll be March 25th through the 27th, and we'll open registration just after Vision. So look for information on that. The third day of that event will be a Perkins 5 symposium. So I just wanted to get that on your radar, and more information on that will be coming soon. And now, does anyone have any questions they either want to type in or address before I talk about CTE month? Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and talk about CTE month. The main thing I want to highlight this year is we have changed the video competition. Really, this started when NASA reached out to ACTE in early September, right when we were ready to post our video information. And they also have a video challenge that they wanted us to advertise on their behalf. So that's one of the reasons we decided to collaborate. NASA has really been trying to reach out to CTE students and to really schools, to all the schools across the nation and to all the high school students across the nation. So it's through it's called NASA Hunch, and it's a program where some of the high schools have contracts with NASA to actually produce hardware and software for the astronauts. But again, they are opening up this competition to all CTE students. And so we merged our efforts and really worked together very collaboratively to come up with a new theme. The theme for this year will be Working Out of This World. And it'll be a little bit longer than your typical PSA. It's going to be 2 minutes or less. And we are giving students until February 1st, which is the first day of CTE month. And then over the next 3 weeks, ACTE, along with NASA Hunch, will judge all the submissions, and we'll announce the winners near the end of February. So just to give you an idea, we have some suggestions for the theme. One of them is to showcase a career or a product or a service that could be used on the International Space Station, an asteroid, the moon, Mars, or in any sort of remote exploration project. Another one is to talk about the skills the rising workforce will need to have in a space exploration project. And keep in mind that, what we need on our planet, we also need in space. So it involves a lot of the family and consumer sciences individuals, culinary, and how to sleep and live and just thrive in these really harsh environments. So we just thought it would be a lot of fun to allow students to be creative, encourage some out-of-the-box thinking. And then finally, the last one is to showcase a future scenario in outer space that incorporates CTE or project-based learning. I will say that NASA Hunch schools they consider themselves project-based learning schools, and then of course we represent all the CTE schools and students. So we're really excited about it. We hope your students and your member students will participate. The awards are also a little bit different. ACTE used to give just first and second prizes, monetary prizes, and now we're finally going to give a monetary prize for third place. So ACTE will give first place, second, and third place $500, $250, and $125 respectively to each winning school. And then NASA Hunt is giving each winning school a plaque with a flown patch. And what that means is that patch has actually flown in the International Space Station. So NASA Hunt will be giving away those plaques with those patches, and we think that'll be a nice value add to the awards. So again, we encourage your member students to participate. We're excited about the topic, and we hope that it generates some excitement in the CTE community. And then, as it relates to the CTE month completely, we'll host a Thunderclap campaign once again and a CTSO Twitter chat. We don't have the links for those created yet, but I just wanted to put them on your radar just to watch for that information as soon as we have it set up. It probably will be sometime after Vision that we'll really start actively promoting those two items. And then I wanted to just remind you of the resources available on the CTE Month page. We've got, of course, the CTE Month logo that you're welcome to use in your promotional, flyers and posters and websites. And we're really not very strict about the usage. We really just want schools to use it to help raise awareness about CTE Month. We once again have our CTE Month products, which include some of our mood color projects. They've been very popular, so we're keeping them. They're the pens and the bracelets and the balloons, and they're available at shopacte.com. And then we have information on hosting a school visit and information on, outreach and, encouraging people to form and attend special events that communicate the value of CTE. So I just put that information up there. You'll be seeing more again in the coming months on things you can do for CTE Month. We're going to be doing a lot on social media. Again, this year, we're continuing to increase that because we find that our members do like it. It's an easy and fun way to share what's happening in your local communities at the national level, and just to generate some excitement across the nation about CTE. So that's my update on CTE Month. Do you have any questions about the new video challenge contest or about CTE Month in general? Okay, well, quiet crowd. Well, I will be at Career Tech Vision, of course, and I'm really excited to see all of you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out to me or to call me or to find me at Vision. If I can find you, I'm happy to help and answer any of your questions. Once again, this is the last call of the year, and we'll be sending out a 2019 schedule soon. And I hope you all have a great rest of your day, and we're very excited to see you at Career Tech Vision in San Antonio at the end of next month. Thank you.